All right, and welcome. It is coming up on 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, actually. And welcome to everyone out there. Welcome to Sinise and Cynthia and the rest of the team. If you are with us tonight, please go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment box just below the video. You want to make sure that you unclick the auto refresh comments bucket button just above the comments so that you're not in the middle of typing and the comment you're writing or the question you're writing clears out. I've done that many a time. And we're going to go ahead and get started in the next couple of minutes, but I just wanted to welcome everyone. Please let me know if you're here by commenting, and we're going to get started in just a few minutes. All right, it is 9:32, so I want to go ahead and be respectful of everyone started. So a couple of housekeeping tips for tonight. Again, remember to unclick the auto refresh on the comments so that we can go ahead and get your comments and questions without you having to be interrupted by the auto refresh. You should have already hit the like button at the top of the page in order to get in and see this video, but in case you haven't somehow, you'll want to make sure that you like the page so that you can go ahead and see this video playing live from Facebook, which is kind of cool. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit about social media and how you can utilize a couple of tools within social media in order to increase your presence on social media for your business. So I believe most of us on here are with Market America, but if you are not, that's okay. We want you to be able to utilize this for any business that you have. So any questions that you have, definitely let us know. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to walk through a program utilizing primarily Facebook called 22 Social. And what 22 Social does is it allows for you to be able to run a page within your fan page or your business page on Facebook and really allow for you to be able to create a myriad of information to share out with your customers, or potential business partners to allow for them to be able to see that information and then also be able to capture their contact information in order to keep in contact with them and share information with them. And it's a great tool for duplication. It's a simple clone and copy and change a few things here and there, and then you're well on your way towards creating something that your team can now utilize. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Tamira, you're here. I see you, Mama. Let me know if you can hear me, Tamira. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to walk through my Facebook fan page, which is Believe Beauty Inspires, which is where you're looking at the presentation from. And so basically this fan page that I've created has a number of tabs. So for various things that I'm doing with my business right now, I've got a couple of things going on. And so this allows for me to be able to share information with people, like I mentioned. So we've got our webinar streaming here that you're watching right now, and then it allows for folks to be able to connect with a 7-day e-course as well as some free training, and then utilize the comments that we are working with tonight. So this is that page I mentioned called 22 Social. It's actually an application. And so in a moment I'm going to walk you through a little bit more of the 22 Social information, but I wanted to give you an idea of what that looked like. So right down here you've got this beautiful Clone This App button. So it allows for you to take any 22 Social app that someone else has created, or for you to your team to create and utilize for a great duplication tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch over to our PowerPoint. You there, Tamira?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, lovely. How are you doing this evening?
I am well.
We've gotten our technical difficulties out of the way, I see.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, welcome, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to my beloved co-host for the evening, Miss Tamira Hamilton. Tamira has over 22 years in sales and marketing experience, and has really been a guiding light for me in this endeavor to learning the world of social media. And she has allowed for me to be able to really take what she has learned and really learn from that in order to use these tips and tricks in my own business, which is fantastic. And I see you, Brittany. Hopefully you can go ahead and get in. Sinise, thanks very much for covering that for me. So what I'm going to do now is, I think we lost Tamira again, but I'm going to go ahead and flip over to our presentation for the evening. And this is going to walk us through our 22 Social information. So I know that there were a couple of folks that mentioned, I think Cynthia had mentioned that she utilizes, when I asked the question, what social media platforms do you utilize? I think Cynthia had mentioned that she utilizes Facebook and Instagram and a little bit of Twitter. And generally you want to do your best to find a way to keep yourself between 1 or 2 platforms on social media and not extend yourself too greatly, because otherwise you find yourself in a position where you are trying to manage too many things at once and keeping too many balls in the air. So we recommend utilizing 1 to 2 mediums of social media for managing your business, and that way you can keep everything on track and kind of without a whole lot of chaos.
Beryl?
Yes, I hear you.
Your screen isn't on. Your thing is off.
Oh, I'm sitting here talking, and there you are.
Sorry about that. My computer froze up.
That's okay. That's quite all right.
That's what happens live.
So that's what happens live, and it's all good. Um, we just keep rolling on and making things happen. So what I was going to do is I was going to walk through a little bit of the PowerPoint that we pulled together that we have for the information about 22 Social. But before we go, Tamira, did you have any thoughts on, I was just saying to people before we got you back that utilizing two social media outlets in general to run your business is probably a good way to keep it from getting too chaotic. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think you have to have a presence on all, and then it's the messaging in your profile, where people are going, people are going to look for information and where to direct them to. From there, we use that a lot with Instagram and Twitter, getting people from there to Facebook, because Facebook is where you can do you can conversate the best on Facebook compared to all the others.
Okay.
And I always get confused. One of them's not a word. Either converse or conversate. I can never remember which one, but one of them isn't a word.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up our, not throw up, but throw up our our PowerPoint screen. And can you see my screen okay, Tamira?
Yeah, it looks great. I'm going to get in the link here too so I can see if there are comments. Did Denise didn't get in the green room with us?
Denise got the link, and Brittany was just having a little trouble figuring out how to get logged in, and I think she got it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go to your link so I can see if there's any comments too and moderate those for you.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
64 gigs of pictures. That's what I get.
Oh, jeez.
Disk space is pictures. I got to go through and delete.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead, and I don't see any questions just yet. Remember, ladies, if you have any questions, and gentlemen, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them in the comments bar below the video, and we'll make sure to get those answered for you. So we're talking about the 22 Social app to use in order to, to grow your business on Facebook. I found this tool to be very helpful in terms of disseminating information in a way that I can capture contact information for folks and be able to keep in contact with them. So, creating a sales funnel is essentially what it is at the end of the day. In order for you to be able to grow that list of people that you're in contact with, you want to be able to have a list generation tool, and 22 Social has been a great way for me to be able to do that. So this is going to be a brief walkthrough. I won't go through the whole thing, but I'll give you at least the basics of the program. So we start with a Facebook fan page, and the Facebook fan page is going to be your hub. So it provides you with your business presence on Facebook, as it says here, right? So I know, Sinise, you have one for Here I Am, and I'm not sure if the other folks on the webinar also have one, but you know, it's very easy to create. I created one with one of our business partners, Stacy, the other day, and probably within 10-15 minutes she was up and running, not even, with her Facebook fan page. And then utilizing the 22 Social Pro app within that page as an additional application, it allows for you to create that sales funnel like we talked about. Then you have the ability to utilize Google presentations, so things like Google Drive, where you can have product delivery to your the folks that are visiting your page, without having to worry about files being downloaded and uploaded. It can host on that Google Drive, which is really convenient. You can have the PayPal feature, so if you want to have a pay gate in order for people to pay for a particular product or service, they'll be able to utilize PayPal, which most people are familiar with and feel comfortable using. There's a great application tool called JotForm, which allows you to present in a professional manner, questions and a survey to them, or whatever the case may be, whatever information you're trying to gather from them. It allows you to utilize JotForm pretty easily, and it integrates really well. And then YouTube Hangouts, similar to what we're on right now, it allows you to host videos and live Hangouts from that page. So just as you all are watching right now on the Facebook fan page, you're able to put it out live, you're able to put recordings out, so you have a really great flexibility there. And then you can also, like I said before, you can create an autoresponder email so that you're staying in contact with your prospects and your possibilities and your contacts in a manner that's more automated, so that you can send a sequence of emails so that you can stay in constant contact with them. So it appears as if you are, sending emails yourself, but it's doing it individually. Let me go on to the next slide. You also get the things that you need are generally a laptop with a webcam. If it doesn't have one in there, getting an additional webcam, a headset so that you have little to no feedback, and then potentially video software, and an autoresponder. So here are just some specifications around when you're creating your Facebook fan page, utilizing these image specifications so that you can get clear profile pictures as well as timeline cover pictures, so that you're not kind of all over the place, so that people can see. Sometimes people have a taller cover page or cover picture, or a wider one, and so you have to click into it to see the whole images. You can actually edit, which I think is kind of cool. You can edit the tab images in order to be specific to whatever the tab is that you're working with. So if it's specifically you're doing a live training, or you're doing makeup tutorials, or you're offering a special discount, you can actually create a specific image that allows for you to be able to get that attention of folks. And then you can also utilize promotional images for event headers and for posting and stuff like that. The About section on your Facebook fan page, you always want to give a call to action as well as providing them what it is that you are and what it is that they can get out of it. So here are just some free resources for you. In terms of image editing, you can use PicMonkey.com as well as royalty-free images websites, Unsplash and PicJumbo. Some paid resources. Fiverr's pretty cool. We've used that a couple of times for my husband's business, and it's worked out pretty well. And then 99 Designs. So here's the fun part. The 22 Social Pro app offers you the ability to give a headline, which will be attention grabbing. You have the opportunity. Anybody else hear that for me? Okay. Hey, are you on two different computers?
Fine.
Okay. All right, it's feedback coming in on my side.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. So here are the benefits on our 22S app pages. So you'll be able to create a page, or again, like I mentioned earlier, be able to clone a page with a headline, utilizing whether it's videos or pictures. So we've got embedded in as our media tonight this video. And then the buttons and texts, to send them to information, you can send them to a feedback survey. You can send them to another link, to get, to your business website or to your blog or, to any URL that you want to take them to. And the nice thing about those buttons, those allow for you to be able to capture their contact information directly from Facebook. And then also you have the other content and text information that you're able to utilize. This is a little bit of information about PayPal. And it allows for you, again, to collect money through a PayGate system in which you are providing a product or a service, and it connects you to it right through Facebook. Sinise is back with us. Welcome back, Sinise. We've got Jotform. So if you, like I said earlier, if you've got questions that or you want to let them know that they've successfully filled out information, and what the next steps are, you can provide them with all of that information in a Jotform, and that can send you the responses directly to you. The utilization of YouTube, being able to do what we're doing right now and have Google Hangouts on air, as well as it uploads, it airs via YouTube so that someone can watch it even if they don't necessarily have Facebook, which is a great tool. And again, the Google presentation with the Google Drive that I mentioned earlier, being able to provide content to folks, whether it be documents or PowerPoints or Excel spreadsheets or whatever the case may be, you're able to provide people with content information and not have to worry about uploading it to a drive somewhere. This information is pretty much providing us with a layout of what a business could do in terms of their marketing. So it takes you through the 4-step process where you've got a free giveaway in order to generate those possibilities and add to your sales funnel. Then you've got a product that's usually priced somewhere between $20 and $19.97, which is more of a do-it-yourself type of product. And then, you know, you've got your price point that at the next step for allowing for it to be done for you. So you're paying someone else who may be more of an expert than you are to do the work for you. And then also another app for the live hangouts. So again, offering free, valuable content to folks in order to lead into the sales funnel. And again, this is just talking more in depth about our, you know, the opportunities that you have for local products. I'm sorry, for a marketing product plan. Same type of thing where, you know, you've got the same 4 steps, except with this one, instead of a higher price point product, you've got a 15-minute consultation in order to kickstart your fan page or whatever your area of expertise is. And so this provides us with that visual of it so that, you know, folks who are a little bit more on the visual side get a better understanding of that. And we are basically creating a sales funnel for you. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like to go ahead and just talk a little bit more about how I think that this might help you and your team, Sinise. The 22 Social app, and Tamira, feel free to hop in here whenever whenever you like. The 22 Social app has really changed my business because it's allowed for me to leverage the areas where I'm not as strong to partner with folks like Tamira in order to utilize her expertise, for example, on motives or on you know, Facebook marketing and internet marketing and things like that, which allowed for me to not have to spend tons and tons of time trying to figure all that stuff out. It was a simple click of the clone this app button and changing a few things so that the items were directed to me instead of to Tamira. And, you know, I've been able to generate a good number of leads out of this utilizing this system. Tamira, can you talk a little bit about what you see as the benefits for 22 Social?
The number one reason I chose to do 22 Social was the ability to basically conduct training in the duplication piece, like you just said, with the Clone This app button. I've watched for over a year, and I've had 22 Social coming up on a year in September, this month or next month. And for over a year, I've watched on the West Coast just grow an insanely massive team and watched the duplication and growth of that team using the 22 Social app. And what I liked about it was the fact that you are able to generate your leads and keep track of your leads using the world's largest social platform, which is Facebook. So you can create simple landing pages that you can use those links both on your Facebook fan page, in Twitter, on Instagram, and those simple landing pages have a call to action that when a person clicks on them, you get basically their email, you even know their birthday, and you know it's basically their verified Facebook email. And I'll give you an example. There's a local restaurant here in Milwaukee that I love to go to for their Korean beef tacos. And to use their free Wi-Fi, they make you answer some questions and give them your email. Well, I always make that email up because I don't want to get a bunch of emails from them. So if you use other sources, that's the risk you're running, is that you're not going to get a valid email. And depending on how many names you have on your list and what autoresponder you use to send out emails, you're paying for that. And you don't want to pay for dead space that could be used elsewhere. So the other piece for the 22 Social is what I've learned in the last year is incredible about both network marketing and internet marketing, and the things that has, opened my mind up to. So the reason you heard all that screeching was I was trying to get into my laptop and switch from my iPad to my laptop so I could actually show you some things on screen. But the way you want to look at social media is a bullseye. Dab smack in the middle of that bullseye is your actual motives.com website with your name on the extension. So for me, it'd be motivescosmetics.com, Hamilton, ENTINC. The next ring is my blog, and the next outer ring is Facebook. And then from there, the rings go out, and they can move around and switch, but that's where your Pinterest, your Twitter, your Instagram. The ones I would be most concerned about in your position right now, the bullseye that I would build is dab smack in the middle is my motives or my shop.com portal, any of those websites. Then my blog wrapped around it, or my Here I Am website wrapped around it. And then from there is Facebook and Twitter. So I would use Twitter to drive traffic to Facebook, and from Facebook to my blog, and from my blog to my my Motives website, or directly from Facebook to my blog to my Motives website, or directly from Twitter to my blog to my website. Because what I have found is like all those links, when they do those great get the looks on the Motives page on Facebook, you go through all that work of switching those bit links over, and people don't click on them because there's not enough of a relationship built there. And that's what this whole premise is about, is you being able to build that relationship online with a large group of people, and being able to do that using webinars, using video, and using email for people to really get to know you, know your personality. And it's working for me. I've got people across the country contacting me, and Beryl knows because I send her text and messages every time it happens. People are contacting me wanting to know about my Motives business and joining my Motives business because of all the work that I put into building this presence with 22 Social, Facebook, and Twitter, and now I've really finally added a really good, solid, self-hosted blog in there. So I would start small. I would start with the 22 Social app, and it's great that you have the Here I Am salon, and you guys do an awesome job. Your salon looks like so much fun. Every time I see your pictures, I want to be there. If I've got to spend time Saturday in a hair salon, I want to spend time in your salon. And I'm not just saying that because I love Sinise dearly. You guys look like you're having fun and you enjoy what you're doing, and you put out a good quality product. So you've got an awesome story to tell on social media. It's just really streamlining it and really having a good process. And for you guys, you still can have your offer, like a free consultation or whatever it is. You can buy an ebook and make an ebook available for sale. You can come up with your offer and use that offer to get people and get their email, because that's what you want to build, is you want to build your list. Because here's the deal. Facebook is shutting down people's accounts who are in network marketing. I have nearly 3,000 relationships on Facebook alone, 4,000 on Instagram. There are days when my Instagram drops by 300 or 400 because Instagram is going through those accounts of people and deciding if they're going to let them keep those accounts or not. So far, they've all panned out and they've come back. Twitter, I lost 40 Twitter followers last week with no explanation. So social media is becoming a lot more rigid in what they're, accepting, and they're writing into their terms and agreement, their terms and conditions agreement. So you want to be able to have your list no matter what happens. And that's why you want to own your list. And that's why I prefer 22 Social and Google Hangouts over some other platforms that we hear a lot about, because no matter what, I want to own. And that's why I went with my own self-hosted blog and not another service, even though that would be vertically integrating into my business, because I would not own the content that's on there, and I would not own the list and be able to control the flow of the customer to guarantee that they're going to get to my site and I get credit for it. Versus a lot of times, I don't think people realize when they're sharing this stuff from motives, they're not guaranteed to get that business. They've got a one out of however many distributors are, satisfactorily fulfilling the monthly transfer buying that and actually actively promoting motives to be able to get that sale. And I don't like to leave anything to chance. Beryl will tell you that's just my personality. I don't like to leave anything to chance. And what you guys have, and you have a great story to tell, I would really focus on what Senice is doing with Instagram. And all I would do, the only thing I would do differently is create a bit.ly link that drives them to a lead capture page, which is your 22 Social on Facebook. Because once you can get people on Facebook and you start building the connection, you'd be amazed. I did a skincare analysis for a girl in the UK just this past weekend because she got a hold of one of my links on Twitter, and because she went through the gate, I didn't even use an autoresponder. A lot of times the first email I like to send directly from me, so it doesn't, you can mask the autoresponder so it doesn't look like it, but it came from my personal email, and I sent her a friend request and she accepted it, and we started the conversation, and I added her to the party that I had going on and built the relationship. So are there any questions, Beryl?
Yeah, Senice was asking how to start a blog, and I let her know we can show her the training that we use to create that self-hosted blog that you were talking about. Yeah. But a little bit about the basics of it might be helpful.
Well, what I do is I use HostGator to actually host the blog, and this is so hard because I'm not used to doing a Hangout and not being able to flip my screen over. But I use Google, I use HostGator and in WordPress, and right now I'm even just using a free theme. You can visit the blog, it's tamarahamilton.com, but there's a very specific formula that I purchased from a network marketer, and her formula is for network marketers, and it is working for me, like big time.
Right. And that's the same formula that I'm using to duplicate exactly what you used, so that we can create this line of duplication, because at the end of the day, that's what drives a successful business owner, is being able to duplicate it down into the team.
Yeah, and if I were going to start with a free blog, it would be it would not be Tumblr. Tumblr does not rank very high very quickly. I can get you some training that shows you how to do that. And I've done some testing with free blogs. They do rank really high really quickly. However, the ultimate design and layout just looks nowhere near what I've done with a self-hosted blog. And I was very scared of WordPress for a long time. Not so much scared as it was just looked like a huge time commitment and having to learn coding and all that, and I didn't want to. And now it's so much more user-friendly, just like Tumblr is, which is why I did Tumblr, because it was so user-friendly, and the little bit of coding that was required, it was very easy for me to figure out and do. So I would go with WordPress and self-hosting your website, and you're going to see a lot more of that happening. And when you look at a lot of the people at major events, they all have a blog, and they all don't look very well. We were in a mastermind group not too long ago, and one of the guys, said, yeah, I went to this thing, and so and so were there, and their blog, and I went to it, and because it just it was not that attractive. And, when you're an attractive person, you have to have an attractive looking blog. And I mean, I literally created my blog like during International Convention or right after, I can't remember, Vero, in like, in like 6 weeks. So, you want to, when you do it, you want to really, what I found that it has done for me is it has really focused my business. As much as I love TLS, as much as I would love to be promoting that TLS Find Your Fit, it's not the right thing to do for my business right now. Right now, with the blog editorial calendar and what that is dictating is really, really focusing my business, and it's wrapped all around the basic five. So, Vero saw within our mastermind, and if you do the 22 Social with Vero, that will give you access to our mastermind that we have going. And there's a picture in there where I wrote out my plan for the week, and I shared it with the mastermind, and that's what I'm able to do at the beginning of every week. Say, what of the 4 results producing activities do I need to do, and how am I going to do it, and how do they tie into my blog? So, for example, Laura Lair is coming to Milwaukee. She's going to do our next local on Saturday, October 11th. And then the 12th, she's doing motive, sales, and application in the morning, and then building your business with motives in the afternoon. So guess what I'm blogging about this week? Guess what landing page I'm creating? That's what I was doing earlier, Beryl, when you called. I'm creating a landing page to promote that. And, there's some other tips and tricks that I don't want to get into because they're outside the scope of this presentation. There's some things that I can do with Facebook to really find who I need to target in this area all the way down to Chicago and up to Minneapolis to sell at least 3 tickets. And hopefully I would rather sell 5 and be able to get 2 distributors out of that weekend. And so having the blog really brought that focus. And no matter what anybody else, upline, downline, crossline, is talking about, I'm not hearing them if it's not within my plan for the week, because the blog really, that being the target of the bullseye, and that really being where the customer experience, the distributor experience starts and really grows and expands, it's the alpha and the omega for me right now. No, nothing can take me from that. And the other thing with the blog, Denise, is it's a great way to duplicate and train, because I have blog posts on there. Like, I saw a lot of questions coming in that Motives online party group. I created a blog post for that within 20 minutes. I did another one showing people how to link their Pinterest and Facebook, and I think even Instagram, with a 4-minute video. And then what I found too is YouTube has really become like an overarching part of my overall social media strategy, and it's really important because it's the 2nd largest search engine in the world next to Google, and people are going in there and they're looking for information on how to do stuff, and I know how to make that stuff rise to the top. And there are people who have videos that have thousands more likes than mine do, and they've been there forever, and I'm outranking them because I know how to make them rank, and I really only knew by instinct. But that's the power of 22 Social, because the minute you start that hangout, the minute you go to start a training within 22 Social, you've created a live event in YouTube, and that's the highest ranking thing in YouTube, is that live event. So for you guys, you guys can have so much fun with that, because you guys have a real talent, right? I do. I have one that I can sell with the social media, but the black hair care industry is like, when Chris Rock did that movie just in the last 5 years, it was 10 billion then. So you guys have so much ability to really get in there and make a huge impact and really get a lot of explosive growth in your organization by using 22 Social. I would be all over that. The way I would look at it, for a $22 a month commitment, that's nothing. And if you're duplicating on your team, I only paid for it the first month, and that's because I did nothing with it because my brother got really sick and was in the hospital. And then the next month I did something with it, and you'd be amazed. People that aren't even in our company, that aren't even in our industry, will be looking at your page because it's like nothing they've ever seen before. It basically allows you to create a website within Facebook, and a lot of people feel really safe staying within Facebook and transacting within Facebook, and that's what it gives you the ability to do.
You're so awesome.
Oh, I try.
Oh, I heart you so much. So, it looks like that was the only question for the evening. So, what I want to do for the team next week, Sinise, is I want to be able to walk through with you guys and gals, walk through with you gals exactly how to set up your 22 social. So let's go ahead and I'll commit to next week, and we'll go ahead and get everybody that wants to take their business to the next level utilizing this type of platform and this type of duplication tool. Let's go ahead and get them set up with their own 22 social and really be able to brand themselves, as well as they're utilizing it to drive traffic, like Tamira said, to that bullseye of their Motives website, and get this thing rocking and rolling for you guys and gals, so that you can really grow your business the way that you'd like to. And if there are other questions that you have, we'll do a little bit different of a format next week that'll allow for us to interact a little bit better while still being able to to have some of the tools available from like 22 Social. So thanks so much, everyone, for getting on tonight. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you found some value in what Tamira and I showed you this evening. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment box or shoot us a message on Facebook, and we'll definitely get those answered.
Did you do for them to be able to get?
Say that again, T?
Did you do a green button?
I have the green button for the other free training, but I will update the green button on this page.
Right, of course, that'll get them. They can start it from there.
Oh.
Yeah.
They can start it from that free training button or the Clone This App button.
I know they can start. If you did the 7-day free e-course that I think you're talking about, they should be able to do it right from there.
Okay, perfect.
And that's what, honestly, that's what my homework would be for the week, is to go through that 7-day e-course. You can do it all in one sitting, or you can do it over the course of 7 days. So then when we get back together next week, they can have even already have the shell of their 22 social set up, and just monitor that comment stream or that group that you set up with questions for questions.
Yes.
But yeah.
Okay, so the green button that she's talking about is this 7-day free e-course that I've got up on the screen right now. So go ahead and click on that green button, and your homework for the week will be to complete that course. And again, like Tamira said, you can feel free to complete it in one sitting, or you can do it over the course of the 7 days. But this will get you started with your shell of your 22 social app and be able to be ready to go when we meet next week, Monday at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. And in the meantime, have a fantabulous week, everyone. And thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
And thanks again, Tamira. Have a great night.